this like explaining things while dungeoning may have been a bad idea.
It'll be an interesting video to watch, that's for sure.
Like, comment, and subscribe. You know what? This is a good place to start. Hello, everybody. This is Reckless with WTBGold, and today I'm hanging out with Persephone. Now, I have not been doing a lot of enchanting testing on the Battle for Azeroth beta, but she has, and she's been transferring over millions and millions and millions of gold in order to just buy more greens. The thing about enchanting is it's not exactly exciting to look at. So we're going to run a dungeon. And while we're showing you guys one of the new dungeons, we're going to just be talking. Let me make sure I remember how to tank.
I should probably pick talent, shouldn't I?
Dude, there's so much little... Like, who's this shady individual just chilling there flipping her knife in her corner next to all these bottles with X's and double X's on it? That's suspicious as heck. Amateur potions. So, Percy, what are the names of the new materials that we're looking at for enchanting?
Well, the common dust is gloom dust. I don't understand why it's gloomy, but it is. Blues will disenchant into Umbra shards, and your epics will be veiled crystal.
Okay, so you were only getting dust from greens then?
Yes.
Okay. So that's something we saw in Legion, but I was curious if they were gonna keep that or if they were gonna go, because they've been going back to a lot of the. Oh God! Hold on, let me tank real quick.
Maybe we should have done a normal dungeon.
So we have two. Oh, you're dead. Why are you dead?
Because you were going to die if I didn't heal you. You might still die.
We definitely didn't just die. Okay, so as we're running back, because I can't talk and tank at the same time, what are here? I can imprison.
I'm out of range.
So, what are the two types of weapon enchants? Or you just consider them one type, but like there's two, one secondary stats and one's like role specific.
Well, yeah, like there's the ones that give the secondary stats, and then ones that I'd be like other, because one of them just gives base, like you always have this. Some of them are proc. Like, it's not stat-wise necessarily, it's just other.
Okay. And I think the tank one is interesting and kind of a good example, because there's three potential enchants that would work for a tank. So there's the versatility one, and the way that works is it stacks. You get 50 versatility per stack on each auto attack, and then once you hit 5 stacks, this might not go well. Let's heal up. Once you hit 5 stacks, then you get 400 of the versatility. So that's good, but there's also an armor version, and then there's also one that what does the other one do? Is it just static leech?
It's just straight leech.
Yeah, so it's not that one of those is going to be better than the other necessarily, but it's like you might want the leech one if you're doing dungeons where you're just AoEing all the time, but on a hard-hitting magic damage boss, you're going to want versatility. So, and then we might have a situation where enchanting is better than it normally would be, because people are actually replacing their weapon enchants regularly. What do you think about it? Do you think that's
and we're gonna go back to the place where people are going to have multiple weapons, but not by force. So people will have a certain statted weapon for when they're doing Mythic Plus, and it's going to have a certain enchant on it. Or they'll have a raid weapon with a certain enchant on it. Like, it's not going to be, here's your one weapon, and this is the good stuff that it has based on what the artifact was.
Okay. What? Oh, wait. This pull. This pull. For glove enchants, what are we looking at?
Well, the glove enchants are going to be like in Legion, where it increases the speed of which you do things. So you have the same ones from Legion, the mining, skinning, herbalism, and surveying, but this expansion they're adding a crafting one. So if you're like me and you're going to be flipping a lot, and I mean a lot of crafted bracers, the crafted one will make you craft those 1,000 bracers just a little bit faster.
And I was also in the video I put out the other day on Inscription, I talked about. Oh, I didn't. Hello, friend. I didn't see you. I talked about how it's like for every 2,000 herbs, it's an hour of turning the pigment into ink. I totally forgot about the crafting enchant.
Yeah, that's definitely going to make doing that quite a bit faster.
Oh, let's kill this
There's
guy.
there's definitely going to be a market for people who are going to keep specific things around, or specific enchants on gear to do both. So most likely the kind of person that's going to have a gathering speed boost on their glove will also have gloves specifically for gathering, because that's just their gathering set. They'll probably be wearing the forager's gloves for mob with the speed enchant on it for BFA. So like somebody who does both will probably have the something like that, and then the crafting on their main glove.
So
I don't think I've
just stand in the
ever
red.
fought. What do I do? I've never done this boss before.
when she transfuses, you don't soak the blood puddles until she does transfusion, and if you don't soak the blood puddles, then she heals. If you do soak the blood puddles, then when she transfuses her blood with yours, then she gets corrupted and she loses. That's the only damage we're doing to this boss is when she transfuses. So.
Okay, this was the boss that was bugged for like 3 months whenever I try to do it. So I stand in this stuff.
Yeah.
What do I do?
Yeah, when she does that, you go stand in the red.
Oh, so not the beams, the actual puddles.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But these spirits of gold try to soak up the puddles. So, kill the ads. Okay, go. Soak. You did it. Okay.
Mechanic.
Mechanics win again. Ooh. Ooh.
Ooh.
So gloves, there's not really much to talk about. They exist. Rings. What are we looking at for rings?
The same as before. Base stats. There's 2 levels.
Okay, how do we rank them up?
So you get the base one from the vendor, and from there, one of them will give you from the vendor again, and then you have to get rep.
Okay. I've heard Marks of Honor. Were there any upgrades purchased with Marks of Honor?
Not that I could see.
Okay.
It was so expensive to get to where I am now. I would need another 300 million gold on beta to continue testing to max.
Okay. That's silly. Oh, we click a thing. What can you tell me about wands?
The enchanters can craft 3 wands. One that is usable at level 111 It is a green and it is BOE, so you can sell it on the auction house. You can also scrap them, and they will give you materials back if you're trying to get Explosum as an enchanter, which you
Okay.
do need for the more expensive wands and also the follower equipment for your table.
It's pronounced expludium. Explusion.
Splooge!
Oh, I'm gonna explode. Okay. No, I interrupted you. Okay, so that's your expulsum generator then. The 225, you're gonna be making thousands and thousands of those by the time the expansion's over.
Probably. If, as an enchanter, you're trying to get Explosum, that's how you're going to get it. There is also two item level 300 ones that are also BOE that you can buy and sell on the auction house that do take a couple Expulsum to make. So those are not really a generator, more of it's a small increase in income for an enchanter. Those, unfortunately, the wands are all faction specific. So as a horde, yours are only viewable on the auction house by other horde, and the alliance one's the same. That also goes for the gathering glove enchant. You can only see your faction's glove enchant.
Okay, but not for like the ring enchants and the
the actual, like, I guess you'd call them raiding enchants.
Yeah.
You can see no matter what faction you're on.
Okay. Perks. We got a couple little perky things. What? That's what she said. What perks? What perks are we looking at?
I mentioned one of them of the follower equipment. All the professions I've seen have a follower equipment that you can craft that will, when you send the follower out on a mission at your table, war table or whatever, it'll come back with materials. This one specifically says it comes back with dust, but the materials are pretty high, so I haven't been able to test it if it comes back with anything but dust.
And like, it's 30 expulsum, right?
Yeah, it takes 30 expulsum to make it, but once your character has it, you only need the one per follower. Other than that, enchanters get the wrist enchant that affect your hearthstone while in Kultiris or Zandalar.
You get a little paladin bubble whenever you hearth, right?
Yeah, there's 3 of them. There's the cooled hearthing, which decreases the amount of time like your cooldown of your hearthstone takes. It goes down to 10 minutes. And then there's trying to heal and talk.
Yeah, no, like this boss is I still haven't figured out. I've done this guy a couple of times. I still haven't figured out like the best way. Like, you hold them behind the thing and everyone else stacks right here and then they go hide, but this time when I did that, they I'm gonna look back on this video in like 3 months and just be like, what are you doing? What are you doing, Reckless? Come on.
Yeah, so there's the cool tar thing, like we just talked about, that does the decreased cooldown of your Hearthstone. Safe hearthing, which, like you said, gives the pally bubble, so you're bubbled when you're trying to hearth. If you like war mode, I would suggest that one.
Okay.
And then swift hearthing, that makes your Hearthstone shorter. Like the speed at which you cast it is shorter.
Wait, the cooldown on it, or the
the speed at which you cast it. So I think the
Oh.
base Hearthstone is 10 seconds. It takes 10 seconds to hearth. This will be 5 seconds.
Okay. I forget where to go now. Oh, we go to the right.
That's pretty much it for what is within enchanting at the moment.
Okay, on Wowhead, there's a pet that says it's like an enchanted tiki. Wait, I can pull it up right here. Enchanted tiki mask. But you haven't seen that yet, so that's probably like coming in a raid or something.
Possibly, it is not in my learned or unlearned skill, and there's no real definition of within like where I can find it within the game. So either it's just data mined for a future patch, or it's a surprise. I don't know.
Okay.
As a pet collector, I cannot wait to find out.
Oh yeah, how many pets are you looking at right now?
Not enough.
You've got like 900 pets though. Yeah.
Like 870.
Oh,
Not
okay.
enough.
All right. So that's kind of going through everything. It's pretty basic stuff. It's just enchants. But do you think this is gonna be good? Like, should someone drop mining and herbalism for enchanting?
Well, I really like having enchanters because especially early on in the expansion, you get so many materials from your own gear, but because of the scrapper, it's really a toss-up. Like, what is important to you as far as how you like to get your income? I wouldn't drop a profession that you actually use for enchanting, but if you have 4 alchemists and you don't use their cooldowns, maybe drop one of them for an extra enchant.
Hold on, we gotta kill the totems at the same time. I'm just gonna. This guy. Oh god. Oh god. We're going. This needs. We did it. We did it. We're so. I love this group. Okay, so you wouldn't drop like if you love herbalism or if you love mining or blacksmithing or whatever and you just want to keep doing that, then keep doing that. Like, it's not, this isn't a game breaking, oh my god profession, but it'll be nice as you're when you're still doing 50 world quests a day. It'll be nice to turn all that gear into enchanting mats, pretty much.
Exactly, because the crystals are what is going to be hard to come by, in my opinion, especially early on because of the way the loot changed. I've always had people give me their blues that they don't need as upgrades.
Can you not drop that like in the path?
I'm trying to heal and talk and like it's a lot of damage.
Fine, I'll meta. this like explaining things while dungeoning may have been a bad idea.
It'll be an interesting video to watch, that's for sure.
Like, comment, and subscribe. Okay, what? So, oh, one thing we kept touching on, but I don't think we ever covered, is what do you think is the best? I think we talked about it beforehand, but what do you think is the best way to get these materials? Like, I heard early on when we first found out that we could scrap greens that, like, my first thinking was that enchanting is now a gathering profession. Like, you have to go out and gather greens. That is your material. And, like, that's kind of always how it's been, but you could buy them up on the auction house. Well, now they're not going to be on the auction house because everyone's going to be putting all of their greens up. Do you have any thoughts or corrections on that? Like,
I have a lot of feelings about the scrapper. I think that it's cool in the long run, but it's really going to hurt enchanters overall. The average enchanter is going to be material starved for a long time.
okay, someone who can't buy greens up?
Someone who doesn't have a lot of liquid income or necessarily a lot of time to play or farm is not going to be pumping out enchant. It's just not going to happen for them.
Okay. Everyone back. Oh, good job, warrior. Oh my gosh, this warrior is so nice. So, one thing you were talking about earlier was that you only get materials appropriate to the item that you scrap. And like, yeah, this isn't a scrapping guide, but it's important because it matters. So, like a plate, wands only turn into enchanting mats, and plate gear only turns into blacksmith materials. So, a blacksmith isn't going to care about scrapping, tailoring, or a blacksmith isn't going to be worried about scrapping cloth or leather gear. Yeah.
Yes. So you could potentially be picking up pieces off the auction house from other crafters, or you could probably find somebody to trade with. Like, find a friend who's a leather worker who might need your leather gear, and they'll give you their cloth, or trade you that way. Like, you're gonna have to find...
I like that that's your example because I'm a leather worker and you're a tailor. All right, subliminal.
I wasn't going there. I was trying to not use blacksmithing since we were already using that.
Okay. Here, let me get a mushroom chair. Oh, I don't have my chair. Okay, so get creative and find fun and exciting ways that that actually looks fantastic here.
Almost like it fits with the motif. Oh, looking at it this way with the thingy flying up. So pretty.
Okay, so before we get too sidetracked with how beautiful Battle for Azeroth is, get creative, find greens. Professions aren't necessarily going to want their materials. Umbra shards, what's the best way to get Umbra shards?
That's a toughie. You're going to probably want to disenchant your own gear because you can't trade other people blues because of the way personal loot is locking people at the moment. So your friends won't be trading you their, myth or heroic gear that they don't need anymore. You're going to have to do it yourself. So you're going to have trouble getting those right off the bat. Like, they're not going to be abundant. They're not going to be falling on your feet.
Okay.
Because you might actually want to scrap your blues because they also return the material from the scrap-o-matic.
Okay, so once this goes live, we'll do a video, a quick video just saying, hey, or you can follow me on Twitter, and I'll probably be tweeting numbers out sporadically saying, like, hey, here's what I got from this test, here's what I got from this test. Okay, so we'll do that once numbers get a little bit more concrete. Is there anything that gave you the impression that the profession is not done yet? Like, this just didn't work?
No, I mean, everything seems to be there. There's nothing that I feel is necessarily missing except for that pet. Hello, Blizzard, give me my pet.
Okay, and so especially early on, you're going to have to be self-sufficient. It's going to be really hard to find the greens for a reasonable price. How expensive do you think all these things are going to be?
I would expect people to be paying in the tens of thousands for their enchants for the first raid. And
Okay.
That's not necessarily going to be like the best ring enchants that they can get their hands on. These are going to be hard to come by. Unless you have somebody funneling you greens, you're not going to be getting the materials to charge, 2,000 like we were charging in Legion. I'm looking 15,000 maybe.
Okay.
20, 30 for a weapon enchant.
Okay. There. Oh, I can pull it up now that we're not in combat. Okay. Weapon enchant. Okay, so it's a veiled crystal, 20 gloom dust, and 8 shards. Yeah, that's going to be really expensive for the first little bit.
That's 8 drops of a heroic for the Umbra shards, and then a mythic piece for the veiled crystal. That's per weapon enchant. Like, those are not they're not going to be cheap.
Okay. Well, then, you know what we can do once BFA goes live? We just started a U.S. side community. I'm going to do a little bit of a plug here. The gold making community. If you are an enchanter and you're watching this when BFA is live and you want a group to go spam dungeons and just get materials, come on, hop in, and we'll have a looking for group section in there, and I'll put that down in the clickety click below. But that's it. Thank you, Persephone, for all your things. You also did tailoring, right? So we'll have to figure out a smarter way to discuss this rather than just doing a dungeon. It was an experience. I'm sure everyone learned a lot and was very appreciative.
Sure.
Okay.
And don't stand in red circles, and maybe something about wrist enchants. I don't remember.
Hearth. We get everyone's a pally. Okay, that's it for me. Thank you for watching, everybody. Here, Percy. You can do the outro. You watch. You've seen videos.
Please like, comment, subscribe, follow Persephone on Twitch, and good luck and happy gold making.
Woo!
Every 20 minutes or so, I'm gonna hop on my mount and check the auction house. Be like, what's cheap? Who's stupid?